sensitive kid, I remember looking at my toys, and I would always look to see where it was made. It would say made in whatever, and it was always made in the USA. And then in the, I'd say the 90s, everything's, so the mid 90s or whatever, everything began to be made in China, made in Japan, made in China, made in Taiwan, made in Korea. Because all those things, those places have been outsourced, or all those jobs that used to be American have been outsourced to Asia because the labor is cheap and they don't have rules on or regulations on how long people can work, or even child labor laws a lot of the time. So they work literally for like 5 cents a day or 5 cents an hour or whatever. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Instead of keeping, in America, I'm really going on a soapbox today, but anyway, in America today, we have all these people who don't have jobs and can't get jobs. And that's for two reasons. One, it's because people in America, as I said, are not educated well enough to have these jobs that are being outsourced, like doctors. A lot of doctors are from India or are from the Middle East or other countries where they're sending people over here and they're immigrating here because we need doctors. Or engineers, same thing. A lot of people from India are engineers or whatever, or some kind of computer technician or whatever. I mean, it's all these kind of things that we as Americans could easily do, but no one studies for anymore. Everybody studies for the things that I mentioned earlier that are being taken away and don't have jobs. And so, yeah, those things are important, but you've got to also have scientists. You need these things that are incredibly important to society as well. So anyway, I don't know. It's just frustrating to me when I look at the way things are going. But fuck, I can't do anything about it. So what the fuck am I going to do about it? Here in Dallas, I don't know if you've read in the gay news lately, there's a landmark in the gay area of Dallas, and the gay area of Dallas is called Oak Lawn. Oak Lawn's a really nice area, actually. It's got, a lot of money and whatever now. And now that the gays have gentrified it, it's very, very, very nice, very hot area. And a lot of gay people live there, of course, and then of course a lot of non-gay people live there. But it's very kind of urban. It's a very urban part of Dallas, or mid-urban, I should say. But it's, in the 90s, or I'd say the 80s and 90s, I say the 80s, it was really scary. It was kind of a bad area. And then it became kind of the gay area in the late 70s, early 80s. And in the mid to late 80s, it began to get kind of gentrified. Especially in the 90s when I was going out there and everything, people were building, and then the 2000s, just a big building boom came, and there's tons of apartments and skyscrapers and stuff there now. But anyway, that's Oak Lawn, the gay area, where I spent many, many, many hours, many days of my life, in my 20s. There was in the news recently an article about the legacy of Love Monument, which basically looks like a huge penis. In the middle of an intersection between Oak Lawn Avenue and Cedar Springs. Cedar Springs is a gay strip, by the way, here in Dallas. It's I don't know if it's meant to be phallic, but it's very phallic, and it lights up at night green, which is, I think, an unfortunate choice in color. But anyway, it's actually kind of nice. It's pretty. It's got some stained glass in it that light up at night as well, all different colors, purple, yellow, kind of rainbow colors, whatever. And it's a really nice tribute to those who have died of AIDS from Dallas, and those who have died of AIDS everywhere. And also one of the founders, one of the Dallas leaders of the gay community here from the early 80s, whom I actually met and worked with when I worked at the AIDS Resource Center as a work-study job when I was at SMU. And his name was John Thomas. And the name of the clinic was Thomas. I can't remember the name of the clinic, but anyway, it's not even called that anymore. It's called the Resource Center now. It was called the AIDS Resource Center then. But anyway, my point is, it was named after him, and somebody defaced it and sprayed the numbers 666 on it a few days ago. And not just that, but also the Cathedral of Hope, which is the gay church here, which is part of the MCC, the Metropolitan Community Church, which is sort of the national gay church type of thing here. And the office building where the owner of some gay nightclubs works, which would be Cabin Enterprises, I think. So people are spray painting things or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, it's certainly not like it's frightening that someone paints 666 on there, on all these gay monuments and these gay icon buildings, but it's just stupid. First of all, it's really hard to get out because they painted it in a specific type of red paint that's really hard to get out. And they painted it on stone, specifically on the monument. And so it's like impossible to get out. So they're trying to get it out, but they can't. So I don't know what they're going to do about that, but it's just really sad that people feel the need to do that. I mean, I don't see a lot of gay people going around and doing that to straight people because they're straight. Actually, I don't see any. It's very frustrating that people like this feel like they can deface property and whatever. And I don't know what they hope to accomplish by it. I mean, is it supposed to scare people? It doesn't scare anybody. Is it supposed to intimidate people? It doesn't intimidate anybody. It just makes them look like fucking idiots, that deface property. So, what the fuck ever. People are going to do what they're going to do, but who cares? Oh, I don't know if I told you I was watching Big Brother. I watch it every year. And one of the house guests on there, his name's Cody Calafiore, I think is his name. He was once an underwear model. So if you want to check out what he looked like in his underwear, which he looks really good, by the way, you can go to queerty.com and check him out. He looks really good. He's really hot physically from the neck down. I just don't think his face is all that amazing. He, on the show and his modeling pictures, he looks amazing. His face looks really good. But I don't think that he looks like great on the show. I don't know. But anyway, that's one of the things too, photoshopping pictures. Somebody said today that Joe what's his name from True Blood and from Magic Mike, Joe Mentalingo, whatever his name is, the tall, hot Sicilian guy, I'm talking about. He had a picture that he had coming out of some water or something, and somebody had posted that the guy was photoshopped. I'm like, what celebrity is not photoshopped today? Come on, give me a break. And that's the thing. And the people you see in photographs and the people you see online, whether it's me or whether it's my friends, my family, whether it's a celebrity, whether it's you, most people Photoshop their pictures to some degree. Some do it more than others. And, I have pictures that of me that look a lot like me that aren't photoshopped, and ones that are photoshopped look a lot like me, and there are ones that are photoshopped look nothing like me hardly, and the ones that aren't photoshopped look nothing like me. I mean, it's really strange because I can look completely different from one day to the next, and I've always been told that. Like literally, I can take a picture one day and then 2 to 3 days later take another picture and you would think it's almost a different person. I don't know why. It's just like I look different. I think maybe it's my eyes because they change color. I don't know. But anyway, my point is that most people Photoshop their photographs because they want to look the best that they can. And so I think it's perfectly fine for somebody who's just a normal person and not a celebrity or in the public eye or anything to do the same thing as well, because celebrities don't look like they look in their pictures. And that's the point I was making about him, about Cody Calafiore, is that he doesn't look as good on the show as he does in his photographs. Because why? They've been photoshopped. They have been perfected, and no one looks as perfect ever as they do in model shots. And I think it gives people a false ideal to aspire to, especially we gay guys. I think we have a really bad habit of trying to aspire to this impossible standard of beauty in the gay male world, just as it is for most female women. For women in the straight world or whatever, they themselves have to adhere or try to adhere to some impossible standard as well. And I'm sure you've seen that Barbie doll experiment that showed the real Barbie and what her measurements would have to be if she were a real woman, and what a Barbie should look like if the Barbie looked like a real woman and not just like a Barbie. And I think it's really put askew just for women and as well for gay men in terms of the public media, how we think we're supposed to look and how perfect we're supposed to be when nobody's really that perfect at all. Literally, nobody's as perfect as they appear to be on camera or in a modeling ad or anything. I mean, it's really rare. Even Angelina Jolie, who I think is just a physically beautiful woman, doesn't look as good as she does in front of the camera. She doesn't. If you see her outside of it. Have you ever seen those pictures? They do, I don't know if it's TMZ or something, or the Inquirer or something that shows pictures of celebrities without their makeup or without Photoshop or whatever. And it's quite frightening. Madonna is a perfect example of this. If you look at Madonna, whom, unfortunately is trying so desperately to hang on to her youth, which is embarrassing and sad. She's a very highly intelligent woman. I mean, she truly is an intelligent woman. And for her to be so completely narcissistic and so consumed with youth is embarrassing to me. Hopefully she's going to get over that soon, but maybe she won't. But my point is that if you see her like in an ad, she looks fantastic, amazing. But if you take away the Photoshop, the softening, the filters, the blemishes are back, the lines, the wrinkles, the haggard skin, she looks like almost a completely different person. And she's human, and I'm not knocking her for looking human. My point is that no one looks as good as they do on the internet or in a picture or anything. Nobody ever does. Now, some people can look better to some degree in a different way, meaning, you can see somebody's picture and think they're good looking and they look nice, but in person they may look different, but they look just as good, just in a different way. If that makes sense. I've met people like when I was going on blind dates and stuff, when I was dating, when I was younger, that their picture would look one way. And this is before the days of Photoshop, before everybody had access to Photoshop and all that stuff, like in the early 90s and stuff. And the picture would look one way, and then they would look different in person. And that happened to me too. I was in an article on the Dallas Voice when I was at SMU for starting a gay fraternity there. And I remember I got all these guys calling me and trying to go out with me and stuff from this article. It was just me sitting in front of the fountain at SMU that the guy took, the writer took of me for the article. And it was on the front page of the Voice. And I remember I was like, I kept getting people trying to contact me and stuff, and I would be out, and they're like, "Oh my God, I saw you in the Voice. Wow, you look totally different in person," or "You look like," or some people would say you look hot, or whatever. They all thought I looked good, but they all thought I looked different, and I don't know why. To me, I looked the same on the picture on the Voice that I did in person, but I guess to them I didn't. But I've gotten that all my life. People, I just have one of those faces for some reason that is a chameleon. I really honestly can look totally different from one picture to the next, and it's always the same person. Even if I don't Photoshop a picture or don't do anything to it at all, I can look almost completely different depending on the day, depending on how my hair is that day, depending on how if I'm tired, if I have bags under my eyes or whatever, if I'm shaven, if I'm not shaven. I mean, I can look totally different. If I'm skinny, if I'm not too skinny, it depends on what's going on with me. But I look the best, I think the best of my life I looked was in my 20s, my early 20s. And then I would say my early 30s. And I would say, I wouldn't say now. I don't really like the way I look now so much. I mean, I'm okay with it, but I think it's just because I'm aging and I'm like, ugh. And I don't mean my physical body. I mean, just my face and stuff. I think my face looks okay. As a matter of fact, I was at, I still get carded sometimes, by the way. So I know I look young for my age. I get carded all the time still. A contractor that I'm working with asked me last month, said to me, he said, "How old are you?" And I said, 39. He said, "Good God, you're well preserved." And I was like, that's the word he used. And so I get that kind of stuff all of the time. And it's just really, I guess it makes me feel good. But in another instance, it doesn't, because people think I'm much younger than I am. And so in business, that's not necessarily a good thing. If, with age comes respect a lot of the times, whereas when you're young, people don't take you as seriously. And so in my business, it doesn't create an issue for me, generally speaking, with most clients. But working with contractors a lot, whom I will hire to do the work that I design or whatever for clients, they often sometimes don't. Because they think I'm like 22 or 26 or something like that, and not 39, and like I don't have any experience. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, even though I do. So that's the negative side of it, of course. But the one thing about me that people seem to always love are my eyes. People love my eyes. As a matter of fact, I was driving through today, and this girl said, "Oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful." I was like, "Thank you." She's like, "They're just really, really nice." I was like, "Thank you." And so I literally get that compliment. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. At least I get it every few weeks from somebody out and about or whatever. I'm at a restaurant. I'm at drive-through. I'm at at the grocery store or whatever, I'm kind of known through my family and friends for my eyes. People love my eyes. And I guess it's the color is different, or they're hazel, and they kind of change colors between green and kind of a, I don't know, different kind of light amber.